Assalamu alaikum dear students, how are you? I hope you all are fine by the grace of Almighty Allah. Welcome to NIVS Home School. Here I am Kamrul Nahar, Assistant Teacher of National Ideal English Version School, Day Shift. My dear students of class 8, today I am going to take your Bangladesh and Globalized Studies class. And our today's topic is Creative Question Answer Part 2 from Chapter 6. In our previous class, we have discussed creative question answer 1 and 2. Today we will discuss two more creative question answer. That means it will be question number 3 and 4. So let's read the statement first. Now look in number 3. A stem is given here. Salam was burdened with unemployment problem because of getting no chance of education for poverty. He took training on the poultry farming from local youth training academy before 2 years according to the advice of his friend Kalam. Now he is the owner of a big firm. On the other hand, Kalam went abroad after finishing study. He does a good job there. He sends a part of his income to his family every month. So this is the step. And now question number 8. What is called gross domestic product? And you will get the answer from in your textbook, and this question carries 1 mark. Number B. What is called the monetary value of internal product? Explain. So you will get the idea from the gross domestic product, and this is also in your text, and if you can understand the text properly, you can give the answer of this question answer, and question number B carries 2 marks. Now question number C. Which idea of Bangladesh economy is related with exchanging salam? Explain. So question number C, it carries 3 marks, and for 3 marks we will try to give our answer within 12 sentences. And Salam took training from the youth training academy, and he took the training on poultry farming, and his works related with our agriculture, that means with our farming. Now number D. Analyze the importance of money sent by Kalam in the economy of Bangladesh. That means the money sent by the sent by the people who work abroad are called the remittance. We all know that, and they are the professionals or the experts who, or the laborer who works abroad are called expatriates. We also know that. So his money is related to the remittance. Now we will go to the answer number 3, and the question A is what is called gross domestic product. Now the answer is gross domestic product is the monetary value of all goods and services produced every year by the citizens, native and non-native, you can mention it also, and living in the country. So the monetary value of all goods and services produced by the citizens of the country is called the gross domestic product, and the citizens can be native and non-native. Now number B. What is called the monetary value of internal product? Explain. And the answer is gross domestic product is the monetary value of internal product. Many citizens are working abroad and send money to the country. This money will not be counted as gross domestic product, and it will not be added to GDP. That means it will not added to the gross domestic product. Now number C. Which idea of Bangladesh economy is related with exchanging salam? Explain. And the answer is Salam's work is related to the agricultural industry of our country. And agriculture and forest sector plays an important role in our national economy. Food, grains, vegetables and forest resources are included in this sector. The contribution of this sector during the financial year 2012 to 2013 was 13.09%, and the growth rate is 1.47%. The contribution of this sector during the financial year 2016 to 2017 was 11.12%, and the growth rate was 1.96%. And on the other hand, fishery is another important sector of the national income. During the financial year 2012-2013, the contribution of the fishery sector to local production or GDP was, that means the gross domestic product was 3.68% and the growth rate was 6.18%. So, the amount of contribution in the financial year 2016-2017 was 3.61% and the growth rate was 6.23%. So, this is a picture of the the picture of the food grains or the fishery sectors in our country. Now, so we can say that Salam's work is related to our agricultural industry, which plays a vital role in the national economy. So, this is the answer of question number C. Now, we will go to question number D. Analyze the importance of money sent by Kalam in the economy of Bangladesh, and the answer is, in Bangladesh's economy, the importance of the money sent by Kalam called remittance, which is immense. That means the money sent by Kalam is called remittance and it is very important in our economy. The money sent by expatriate workers to their homeland is called remittance. The money sent by the laborers, employees and professionals employed in foreign countries not only fulfill the needs of their families, but also plays an important role in the country's economic development. Currently, a large part of Bangladesh's national income comes from the remittance. The millions of Bangladeshi people are employed in various countries of the world. The amount of remittance sent by the expatriate Bangladeshi workers in the financial year 2008 to 2009 was 9,689 million US dollars. So, despite the worldwide economic adversity, Bangladesh did not face any crisis during the financial year 2008 to 2009. There will be any crisis. The main reason of this was the huge amount of remittance sent by the expatriates. During the financial year 2016 to 2017, the amount of money sent by expatriates is 12,769.55 million US dollars, which has made Bangladesh's economy strong. So, the money sent by the expatriates plays a very important role in our country, and because of them, the economy of Bangladesh didn't face any crisis during the financial year 2008 to 2009. And they not only support their family, but also plays a great role or the vital role in our country's economic condition. Now, we will go to question number 4. Now, look, my dear students, there are two photos. In the first photo, now look, there is a low income and low income, there is a low savings and low investment, and for low investment and low savings, there will be low productivity. So, this is photo number 1, and now we will go to the second photo, and which written there, food security, health and nutrition, investment in education sector. So, what do you understand from these two picture? The first picture is related to the vicious circle of poverty, and the next picture tell us about the human resource development, right, my dear students? So, now we will read the question. Question number A, what is human resource development? Number B, explain the idea of national product. Number C, what has been expressed by photo 1, explain. Number D, what has been indicated in photo 2, evaluate your answer with logic. So, my dear students, question number A, what is human resource development? You will get the answer from your book, and we know that person who is skilled and productive through training are called human resource, right? And the answer is, now look, human resource development means to make skilled and productive human beings through training on the basis of need. So this is the answer of question number A, that means what is human resource development. Now, we will go to question number B, explain the idea of national product. And what is the national product? Let us read. The total monetary value of all goods and services produced by the citizens of a country within a specific period, usually a year, is called the country's national income. That means the value of all goods, that is the monetary value of all goods and products or the services produced by the citizens of the country will be included in this national income, and there will be a specific time. Usually we consider 1 year for for national income, for counting national income. And why do you count it? GNP or gross national product is estimated to realize the contribution of the citizens of a country to its economy. So we find out the gross national product to know about the contribution of the citizens of the country to its economy. Now we will go to the answer of question number C. What has been expressed by photo 1? And now look, for your help, now we look at this question again. Now look, in photo number 1 there is low income and for low income there is low saving, and for low for low income there will be also low investment. Because of low saving, people will invest, their investment will be small, and for low investment and low savings their productivity also low. That means they will be skilled gradually, they can't be skilled labor or the skill or human resource quickly. So now look, the answer is photo 1 indicates to the vicious circle of poverty. And in economics, the circle of poverty is the set of factors or events by which poverty once started is likely to continue unless there is outside intervention. The cycle of poverty has been defined as a phenomenon where poor families become impoverished for at least 3 generations, and underdevelopment countries like Bangladesh remain entangled within the vicious poverty circle due to their poor per capita income. Because of the poor income, the countries can't save and invest. So the production remains low, leading to unemployment and thus to poor per capita income. So in this way, the countries fail to come out of the circle. So now look, when people are poor, they cannot get the proper education and proper nutrition or proper food. So they remain sick very frequently. They possess ill health, and because of ill health, they can't work properly. That means they cannot earn more money. And what happened? When they can't earn more money, their savings will be small, and when their savings is small or low, they cannot invest sufficiently. That means their investment is also low, and then their productivity also low as the consequences of the circumstances. So it is a circle and it continues almost like 3 generations. If there's no intervention from the outside, it will continue. And photo 1 talks about low employment, low savings and low investment. These indicate to the vicious circle of poverty. Now we will go to the question number D. What has been indicated in photo 2? Evaluate your answer with logic. Now look, in photo 2 is given food security, health and nutrition, investment in education sector, and we can understand then this photo is talking about the human resource development, and these are the key to human resource development. And our answer is photo 2 indicates to the steps that are needed to be taken for human resource development. Human resource development means turning individuals into human assets through skill development. It requires increased investments in food security, health and nutrition, education and technical education, as well as creating more employment opportunities for people. Photo 2 points to those fields that need to be taken care of. So photo 2 tell us in which sectors we need to be more careful, or which sectors should be taken care of. So human resource development is possible if the investments are properly made. Many can serve the country with his or her physical labor, while others can serve the nation by inventing new things with the individual's talent. For this to happen, food security is a must, and people can become skillful through education. This project requires good health. A skilled manpower with poor health is of no use. So, besides, a huge number of employment opportunities have to be created in the country. It will eradicate poverty and lower the number of unemployed people. So, if everybody works, the country will experience tremendous success. So, we should create more employment, and before that we need to give education to our people, and we should make our people skilled by giving them training, and there should be also there should be also food security, and it is must. If there is no food security, people will not possess good health, and if they do not possess good health, they a skilled manpower with poor health is of no use, right. So, we should give them proper food, and which can give them proper nutrition, and they, when they can possess good health, they can work more for the country. So, we can say that photo 2 indicates to the steps needed for human resource development. So, photo 2 indicates the things need for human resource development. So, my dear students, that is all for today. I hope you have understood our today's topic, and now look, there is a homework. This is homework number 18 from chapter 6 CQ, that means creative question number 4C, and the question is, what has been indicated in photo to evaluate your answer with logic. So, you can follow this sample question answer, or you can also make the answer by yourself. So, dear students, all of you will do your homework regularly and submit it on every Sunday within 8 AM to 4 PM. So, practice a lot and listen to your parents. See you again. Allah Hafiz.